Thank you for having me at the 8th annual MFGA conference. I was lucky enough to be on the board when we started these conferences, so it's really special to see it go on even this long, and I don't think it's close to ever being done for the annual conference. So let me set a scene for you. You're at your table, early-ish morning, numbers are on papers all around you. They're scattered. Your hair is a complete mess. If you're like me, you got one toddler trying to grab the papers and tear them apart, and the other toddler screaming somewhere over in the other part of the house. And you just think, I wish I could talk to other people in my situation, in my farming, um, in my farming line of work, things like that. So that is why we created this dairy hub. So things I'm going to cover here. Who am I? Who is Regeneration Canada? What Regeneration Canada does? Our agriculture, are our regenerative ag principles for Regeneration Canada. And then the meat and potatoes is the Regen Dairy Hub. So for the Dairy Hub specifically, going to be covering the objectives, the layout, and the benefits that the producers get from being part of the hubs and the benefits of the hubs themselves. So first, that is me and my little family this fall. We have a 3.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and my 3.5-year-old is a sensitive, tenderhearted soul, and my 1.5-year-old is a fiery little girl that is going to be unstoppable. That is my partner. We moved back to our my family farm, Circle H Farms, and now we're working in a transition, taking over the operation. Then I also started Solder Nutrition. So I sell Regen Egg products of wide variety. They all use regenerative agriculture in either the whole product or in parts creating the project. My work life centered around forage and beef research, farm management consulting, and then since July, I have had the absolute pleasure of being with Regeneration Canada, and it has been such a great opportunity, and I absolutely love working with everyone. Education-wise, I have my animal science degree and my regenerative ranching program diploma, which now I also work for the program too. So a little bit about Regeneration Canada here. Our vision is healthy soils, resilient farms, and prosperous and equitable agri-food systems. We envision a diverse, prosperous, and resilient agri-food system where regenerative agriculture is the norm. I have grown up where our farm was conventional. We've transitioned to regen. We have been called numerous times the weird farmers, or like was said earlier, the wingnut farmers for our stuff yesterday. I wrote that down. We like to call ourselves the rebels, but I really hope that we do see this as the norm in the industry. So the mission of Regeneration Canada is to enable the adoption of regenerative agriculture by 4 different ways: facilitating the knowledge exchange, building networks, raising awareness, and co-developing these practical transition pathways with farmers, ranchers, and stakeholders. So these transition pathways are a merge of a type of farming practice and a location. So for this specifically, an example is the Manitoba dairy industry. And by 2030, Regeneration Canada will co-develop regenerative agriculture transition pathways with farmers and ranchers and supply chain actors in order to foster learning, problem solving, collaboration with peers, and increase the capacity to adopt these regenerative farm practices. So these are the first of one of 2 pages of our principles of regenerative agriculture system. And they do hold the industry standard for the 5 to 6 universal ones, but we have a few extra that we've added on, including the first one, which is understanding the context. We we understand the importance of the context and that each farm is going to be translating practices differently depending on the type of operation, your location, your production system, everything like that. So that's a major one for us. That's why it's one of the first. Then we have minimizing soil disturbance, optimizing that input use, keeping the soil covered and maintaining that living root, improving water cycles, protecting and enhancing biodiversity, preserving and restoring the natural ecosystems, integrating the animals on the land and ensuring their welfare. And then 9 and 10, we're also looking at the whole food system with our principles. So 9, building farm and agri-food sector economic resilience, and advancing social justice, food sovereignty, and farmer and rancher well-being. So I myself am a rancher. I understand that a lot of us connect with ranching as a way of life, but it's very important that we are reminded that we are people before we are farmers before our farm. And sometimes the best way to take care of our farm is to take care of our well-being, because there is not a farm without the farmer. So the 4 pillars of activities that Regeneration Canada uses are raising awareness, the sharing knowledge, like I mentioned before, the co-creating transition pathways, and building those networks. So we do that in a few different ways, and I have on our other projects before I get into the real stuff of the Dairy Hub. The Regenerative Roadmap the purpose is to support, facilitate, and enable the successful regenerative transition of the agri-food system in Canada. Through collaboration, it ensures we are developing landscape level, place-based solutions that respond to the contextual needs of the producers in that certain location, but then also as nationally and globally too. So this means that our programming, meaning our programming and support to producers, is always tailored to the realities there. The geography, the production system, as well as the operation size. So the roadmap is brought to life through our producer-centric hubs, which I will get into way more detail of them, but they are the supportive space that brings together these producers. Then we have our regenerative dairy farms, which is our dairy work that has been in Quebec. Third, we have our farm map, which is, head to our website. You can best explain it by actually seeing it. It's a wonderful tool that's able to connect consumers with regen farmers, as well as regen farmers to regen farmers. We then have worked on research projects. We also do a lot of event and workshops, our videos, webinars, and podcasts. And we do have 10 wonderful YouTube videos of stories of regeneration. We have those in our booth, just overlapping our YouTube page, or head over to the YouTube page to look at them. They're about 8 or 10 minutes, so it's perfect video length, and they're really, really well done. And then, of course, we have our social media that we use to showcase not our work, but the work of farmers and other organizations that are able to help Regen Ag. So then we have partnered with MFGA to co-create the Regenerative Dairy Hub. So this had started a while ago in conversations. I joined in July, and then we have been building the programming. We've been finding our producers, and then starting now to build the data collection set. So the objectives of the program, 4-fold. We have data collection and management that's used to validate and scale the regenerative practices on the dairy operations. Build economic and environmental models. By using the farm data, we're able to showcase these regenerative ag practices. Raise awareness of regenerative agriculture. And by raising the awareness, we're able to celebrate the producers, and we're able to share their stories, which will then help adopt acres over Manitoba. And then build our user journeys at the farm level. So the user journeys allow us to better understand how regenerative agriculture was adopted by the producers, the choices they made, the forks in the roads they come to, and why they picked left or right. And that's going to allow us to build a very large set that other producers can look at to see how the regen producers, what they made, their choices, and how they can kind of pick certain ones of those choices to fit their farm and fit their context. And also to show them that it's not impossible. All these other farms, different sizes, different locations, have all done it. So we truly are a farmer-centric approach. So this is why I have this image here with the producers at the middle. So the producers help guide and develop the program with the Regeneration Canada team and other project partners. And that's to ensure that the producers' needs are being met, that the program, they help develop it. So then it's what they need. So the philosophy also extends to building the best team that we can to help these producers and the program, and importantly address their needs and their challenges. So we have here, I'll go counterclockwise because I like to be different. So we have the anchor producers. So that's one person in the hub that kind of is the liaison between the other producers and the rest of the committees if need be. They also help a little bit more with the program development and finding the producers and their peers that are going to be part of the hubs. We have the steering committee that is appointed to guide the project and activities, and it's composed of the producers of the hub, our partners, and experts relevant to the topic. Then we have our hub working team. So that's the partners and the anchor producer, our data team, a communications team, fundraising team, since Regeneration Canada is a not-for-profit. So all of this is able to go through, able to be because of the fundraising. We have our facilitation team, and then of course, all of our partners, which I will go into detail there. So the first one that isn't on this slide, and I know I keep saying it, but it's producers. Without the producers, these hubs would not exist. Showcasing the amazing work they're able to do and give them that economic and environmental background for them to know what the practices that they're choosing are actually doing on their operation. So they make the program what it is. They help with, like I said, the program development, data collection with those user journeys. Then we have RC, so Regeneration Canada. We are the program lead with MFGA, responsible for program development, the facilitation of it, coordination, and the implementation, along with our other partners though as well. MFGA doesn't need much of an introduction. So they are a program co-lead, and they have really helped with the providing strategic guidance, advisory around the program development, implementation. They have been absolutely crucial in supporting outreach to engagement with producers and stakeholders all across the province. We then have Theory Mesh, which is a data management specialist and technology platform. They have Farm Capture as the platform, so you can go online and see that. And they are based in Winnipeg, so it is really nice that we're here in Manitoba for that. And we have Smart Prosperity Institute. They are the agriculture economics modeling, and they are based out of the University of Ottawa. And lastly, but not least, we have Canadian Organic Growers. So their specialty and what they're going to be doing and helping us with this project is the curriculum development and the knowledge transfer piece. Now, on to a very busy slide, but I'll let you read that as I jumble on through it. Jargon of the jargonness, let's say. So the hubs are the essential part of how Regeneration Canada delivers this program on the ground and engaging with producers and providing them the support that they need. They're developed to build a support network for producers allowing them to connect, share, and collaborate with that regional network. The hubs are facilitated by myself, and I'm the main webbing that's holding this, that holds the hub and the members together, which is, I don't take that lightly, and it really is. It's such a fun job. I can't even call it a job. It is very, very fun to be doing this. And each hub is different based on what the producers of that hub need. So this list isn't is only indicative. So bringing those producers together, that will allow for capacity building, storytelling, sharing new ideas and experiences, problems, failures, but also a way to explore and find new and different solutions that you might not think of just on your farm, having that producer connection. Introduction and connections to a wide range of experts. So we are building a resource list of experts and software that these producers have found really valuable, that is knowledgeable or able to build onto regenerative farms. We have our introductions and connections, access to a curriculum designed specifically for the dairy industry in Manitoba, as well as workshops and farm visits. So the big thing out of the first hub meeting that we learned is the hub members were excited, but not too excited about having experts come in and talk to them. They want to be able to do farm tours. So once a year, we're going to be picking one of the hub members' farm. We're going to go on a farm tour, have great meal, talk, and they'll be able to see on each other's farms how everything's working and actually get that on-site visits. As well, the producers help to build our workshops. So we're bringing in who they want, who they find valuable, everything like that. The network and opportunities are spaces for learning and connecting, not only in the sector, but also cross-sector. And 5 and 6 there for up-to-date information on projects, events, and conferences, and supporting accessing relevant programs and funding. Those will be up to date and on projects, fundings, events, conferences. We have a big WhatsApp chat that I'm able to message all them to make sure that everyone is aware. Then we also have an online toolbox available. So this has technical sheets, case studies, photos, video clips. It is on our website, so it's open to everyone, not just hub members. But it is a great resource, and we do have a spot on there to be able to send us any updates or anything that you think we should add to that as well. And then also being able to access communication channels and platforms. So we love telling farmer stories and showcasing the farmer stories and how you guys do things. So if you're interested in that, please come talk to us. We do have a booth for the whole event, or my contact information is up here too. So Hub's one focus is going to be understanding the economics and environmental impacts of a specific regenerative practice adopted. So all these producers have already adopted the practice. They've been doing it for a number of years and are comfortable with it. These practices are all centered around growing and/or grazing forages with their dairy herd. And the project will run for 4 years. We'll have 4 years of data on the 5 different farms. Now, the benefits for the producers of the hub here. So the data will be used to track progress and outcomes related to the regenerative practice that they've chosen for their operation. So producers will receive annual reports on that, but also an annual report on the aggregated, so all the farms involved in the hub numbers. And then at the end of the 4 years, there'll be another report detailing the overall 4 years for everything. The tools to support on-farm decision-making and long-term implementation. So this includes that toolkit that I mentioned about on the website, webinars, blog posts from producers, specialists and fact sheets, resources, and then of course the economic and environmental models that are going to be developed for this. It has the individual and collective support, which means human resources, group facilitation, a centralized location for materials, support accessing relevant programs and funding. And then the big one for me is the peer learning and collaboration through the community of practice. Just being with like-minded producers that we all do things a little bit differently, but the amount that we can learn from each other, I think is the main key for myself. We also have our workshops and learning materials. Like I said, producers will help lead those workshops and who to bring in. And then lastly, we have our honorarium. So producers involved in the hub will receive an honorarium for their time and knowledge. So this isn't for adopting a certain practice in Regen Ag. It's for the time that they've already put into learning and honing their craft for it. And it's for their time of making the hub a priority and engaging in the hub. So Hub 2 is going to be starting for early this coming year, 2026, and we are looking for members for it. So if anyone's interested or has any suggestions or anything like that, please come up to myself or contact me once my information comes up.